In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on April 7, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Cincinnati Reds versus Atlanta Braves. The 2022 Major League Baseball season kicks off after a slight delay in full force on Thursday, and one of the more anticipated opening days will take place in Atlanta. The 2021 World Champion Braves will kick off the defense of their title against the Cincinnati Reds out of the National League Central Division. The Reds finished third in the Central Division last season and finished above .500 at 83-79. The Reds were busy this offseason, dealing away a number of key pieces as they look to restock their farm system. For Atlanta, a solid finish that procured the team the Eastern Division title led to an epic playoff run that resulted in the team's first World Series title since 1995. Atlanta has made some changes as well this offseason, including parting ways with the longest-tenured Brave in Freddie Freeman. However, the Braves retooled rather than rebuilt and are primed for another October run. Atlanta will open its defense of the World Series title with a victory Thursday on opening day. Atlanta lost its veteran first baseman Freddie Freeman, who is now with the Los Angeles Dodgers, but has 3 players active that hit 27 home runs or more last season. The Braves have 2 players in their starting lineup on Thursday that had 106 or more RBIs last season. Atlanta will have Max Fried on the mound, who was 14-7 with a 3.04 earned run average in 2021. Atlanta's bullpen returns Will Smith, who led the Braves in saves last season with 37, and added veteran closer Kenley Jansen, who had 38 saves last season with the Dodgers. Cincinnati lost much of its power during the offseason as players such as Eugenio Suarez, Nick Castellanos, and Jesse Winker all departed. Cincinnati will also start the season with Luis Castillo, one of its starting pitchers from last season, on the injured list. In any case, the Braves will have Max Fried on the mound for this opener. He heads a 5-man projected rotation that started 106 games last year. Atlanta should be able to keep most games close with their top arms. If they can continue to provide runs, the team should also be well on their way to another deep playoff run. So the Atlanta Braves money line is our full game side pick. In 2021, the Reds scored 1 fewer run per game on the road than they did at home, averaging 4.17 runs per game on the road. That was with a lineup that included Castellanos, Suarez, and Winker. On Thursday night, the Reds will be facing left-hander Fried, which may very well neutralize 2 of the main power bats of the Reds, Votto and Moustakas. Votto hit just .215 against left-handed pitching last season with just 5 home runs, and Moustakas' poor average against southpaws has already been highlighted. The Braves averaged under 5 runs per game last April, and a cool, cloudy April night in Atlanta may not result in balls flying out of the park. Fried is expected to go about 5 innings before the Braves relievers will come into play. That means we could see A.J. Minter, Tyler Matzek, Colin McHugh, Will Smith, or Kenley Jansen make their first appearance of the season. The Braves bullpen carried them in the postseason last year, and they added McHugh and Jansen to form one of the strongest bullpens in the league. I previously mentioned that the wind will be blowing out, but the strength of the wind will fall drastically as the night goes on. I expect the hitters to be slightly rusty following a shortened spring training. I expect a low-scoring contest featuring the Braves' deep pitching staff. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Astros versus Los Angeles Angels. We had a little bit of a legal hiccup, but Major League Baseball is finally back. Only about a week later than normal, the season kicks off Thursday with the Los Angeles Angels hosting the Houston Astros. Hope springs eternal, so at this point, the Angels, who were 77-85 last season, are just as good as the Astros, who were 95-67 a year ago. The Astros will start left-hander Framber Valdez, while the Angels go with reigning American League MVP Shohei Ohtani. It will be Valdez versus Ohtani in the first game of the season, and the Angels open as a small favorite. Houston did not make a lot of moves this offseason, and the Astros might not be as good as they were last year, when they lost in the World Series, but they are still probably the best team in the American League West. At the very least, they are the favorite to win the division. Their lineup can still be formidable most days, and their pitching looks more than good enough. Los Angeles is starting another season with the best player in the league in Mike Trout, and the Angels have the reigning MVP in Shohei Ohtani too. They are hoping that pair might be enough to at least make the playoffs. I am not totally sold, but they could be close if someone else in the lineup starts earning their big salary. Ohtani is getting his first opening day start in the majors. I have not seen anything definitive as to whether he will hit while he is on the mound. Ohtani was 6-0 at home last season, but Houston tagged him for 7 runs over 2 starts, which were both in Houston. The Astros are countering with lefty Framber Valdez. The lefty is coming off a strong season, but did not pitch in April last year. He was 2-0 against the Angels last season. I think he can be better this year than last. Their health might never be better, but they are definitely a very public side with Ohtani on the mound. Houston has won 9 straight opening day games, so they have been able to get the job done to start the season. Although I do believe the Angels are better than they were in 2021, I still worry about that bullpen. Trout is one of the best players ever, and he doesn't get to shine in the postseason. Ohtani has had issues against this Astros lineup, and guys like Altuve, Jordan Alvarez, and Alex Bregman have hit him hard in short sample sizes. I do not think the Angels should be the favorites in this spot, as I still believe Houston is the better team in this matchup. Opening day looks like a great spot to fade the Angels, so the Houston Astros money line is our full game side pick. It's opening day, and both teams will roll out their best pitchers. Last season, Ohtani blanked the Astros through 7 innings in his last start against them in a no decision, and Valdez blanked the Angels in 7 innings in his last start against them in a win. Plus, pitchers are typically going to be ahead of hitters in the early season, particularly the good pitchers. Totals are always tricky in the first month of the season, when weather and player usage patterns can be harder to factor. With the game in Los Angeles, the former is unlikely to be a concern, but on the latter, I expect that the starters will not be taxed too greatly. However, with the bullpens as fresh as can be, look for the pitching to be in control, even though both of these teams should be better than average offensively this season. So we have 2 good starters and 2 solid bullpens on an opening day where hitters might be behind pitchers, and it all adds up to a low-scoring game. The under is the call for the season opener. I am expecting a tidy game in which neither team scores more than 4 runs. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. San Diego Padres versus Arizona Diamondbacks. It's opening day on the Diamond as the 2022 MLB season gets underway, with a pair of National League West rivals locking up in the Valley of the Sun. The San Diego Padres are on the road as they kick off a 4-game series with the Arizona Diamondbacks Thursday night. San Diego finished the 2021 campaign 79-83. Leaving them a distant third in the National League West race behind the Giants and Dodgers. Arizona finished 2021 in the basement of the National League West with an abysmal 52-110 record, so they have nowhere to go but up. The Padres owned an 11-8 advantage in the season series last year and took 2 of 3 at home in the most recent series between the teams August 30th to September 1st, 2021. The Diamondbacks were tied for the worst record in the league last season, but they didn't do much to improve their roster in the offseason, especially on the offensive end, which was one area they had to improve after finishing 27th in the league in runs scored per game last season. Darvish struggled on the mound last season after posting an 8-3 record with a 2.01 earned run average in 2020. Expect him to bounce back with a better performance this season. The Padres also added some depth to their bullpen in the offseason and won't have trouble slowing down one of the worst defenses in the league. The Padres didn't have any trouble scoring last season and finished 13th in the league with 4.5 runs per game. They had a lot of success against Bumgarner, scoring 10 runs in 3 games against him. Even though they will be without Fernando Tatis Jr., who is out for an extended period of time, they have a lot of firepower on offense and won't have trouble scoring against the Diamondbacks. The San Diego Padres had a tough spring training, however, are one of the top 5 favorites to win the World Series this season. Even though Arizona had a better batting average during spring training and more runs scored, San Diego will be starting a power lineup with a veteran pitcher who has 6 pitches in his arsenal, so the San Diego Padres money line is our full game side pick. Last season, both of these teams were over machines when you get right down to brass tacks. Arizona had the highest over percentage in the majors, with the over posting an 89-66-7 record in their contests. The Diamondbacks were tied for 13th in runs per game at home last season, but they finished 29th in team earned run average at home. They allowed an average of 5.46 runs per game at home, giving them an average total of 10.02 runs per contest at Chase Field. San Diego was tied for the 5th highest over percentage with an 86-72-4 mark. The Padres were 11th in runs on the road per game last season, while they were 18th in team earned run average as the visiting team. They allowed an average of 4.69 runs per game, giving an average total of 9.31 runs per contest. The Padres averaged 4.5 runs per game and 4.62 runs per game on the road last season. They had a 3.01 batting average against Bumgarner last season, averaging 3.33 runs per game against him. So expect them to score at least 4 runs in this game. The Diamondbacks averaged 4.19 runs per game and 4.56 runs per game at home last season. They had a lot of success against Darvish with a .317 batting average, while averaging 3.4 runs against him. So expect the Diamondbacks to score enough runs to push the score over the total. The Diamondbacks and Padres played over the total in 3 of their last 4 meetings. The weather in Arizona is nice in the early spring, so the ball will travel, with the bats clicking and the arms trying to catch up. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.